Hi everyone, we're going to solve this equation tan 2 theta plus 2 sine of theta equals 0 on the interval 0 to 2 pi. First thing I'm going to do is go ahead and write this as sine of 2 theta divided by cosine of 2 theta and simplify. Just copy this down. I'll put that in fraction form equals 0. Now, common denominator is cosine of 2 theta, so we just need to cross that up and we get sine of 2 theta plus 2 sine of theta cosine 2 theta. This all equals 0. Now, what's going to happen when you cross multiply, if I cross this up here, this is going to turn to 0. So this gets eliminated. All right, we can't have a 0 in the denominator anyway, so it's not necessary. So now I'm going to expand using my double angle identities. So for this one, I'm going to write 2 sine of theta cosine of theta plus I have 2 sine of theta. And for this one, I'm going to write this as 2 cosine squared of theta minus 1 equals 0. That's going to help me factor all this out. All right, now that I have this, I can factor out 2 cosine of theta. If I do that, I'm going to factor this out. I'm going to get 2, why isn't it working here? 2 sine of theta. And then I'm left with cosine of theta plus 2 cosine squared of theta minus 1. Now that I have that, I can factor this part. So I have this, and then I'm going to factor this. So that's going to be on the next slide. So we have 2 sine of theta. And before we had, I'm going to rearrange it, 2 cosine squared of theta plus cosine of theta minus 1 equals 0. This gives you 2 sine of theta times 2 cosine of theta minus 1 times cosine of theta plus 1 equals 0. All right, from there, we have 3 pieces we can solve for. We have 2 cosine theta minus 1 equals 0. That means cosine theta, I'm going to add the 1, divide by 2, so that equals 1/2. And then we have 2 sine of theta equals 0. So that just means if you divide both sides by 2, that goes away. So that means cosine of theta, and we look for equals 0. Sorry. I'm not going to rewrite this, so this will be just sine of theta equals 0. And then we have the plus 1 here. So we have cosine theta plus 1 equals 0. That means cosine of theta equals negative 1. Now let's just solve for our angles. Where is cosine 1/2? That's going to be in quadrants. That's your x value, 1 and 4. So this angles would be pi divided by 3, comma 5 pi divided by 3. For cosine or for sine equals 0, that's where your y is 0. That occurs at 0 and pi. And where does cosine equal negative 1? That's going to be here, which happens at also pi. So you can write your solutions as, if you go in order, if you want to, 0, pi divided by 3, pi, 5 pi divided by 3. Thank you. Have a nice day.